Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Spacing Out. I'm Jason McClellan.
And I'm Maureen and Elsberry. Thanks for joining us.
We're here to discuss the news, so here are some of the space and UFO stories that have made headlines recently.
Conspiracy theories about Earth's moon persist 45 years after the first human visit to the moon.
Some believe that the moon landings never occurred, but instead were staged. Others believe humans have been to the moon, but were warned to stay away by lunar residents. But thanks to Syfy, the veracity of those claims about aliens on the moon may finally be revealed in an upcoming 2-hour documentary titled Aliens on the Moon, The Truth Exposed.
Film news website Twitch reports that the producer of this documentary is Robert Kiviat, a producer known for UFO-related content. He was a content producer for several episodes of the popular sci-fi program Fact or Fake Paranormal Files. He also produced the television special Alien Autopsy, Fact or Fiction.
On July 7th, Syfy issued a press release for this show, which states, July 20, 2014 marks the 45th anniversary of man's first landing on the moon. We've all seen the footage and know the official story from news reports, the internet, and for younger viewers, from the history books. But what haven't we been told about Earth's closest neighbor? What really happened on that historic day? What did our astronaut encounter on the lunar surface? And what don't our world's governments want us to know?
The press release continues, in this controversial special, we will look at compelling evidence, including never-before-aired NASA photos showing gigantic artificial structures, suggesting the moon is being used as a base and possibly a staging area by a mysterious race of alien beings. We will hear from experts as well as astronauts who have walked on the moon and will reveal new facts and proof for the first time anywhere.
Aliens on the Moon, The Truth Exposed will air on Sunday, July 20th, 2014. But according to Syfy's schedule, this special will air multiple times, so check your listings.
As we've mentioned before on this show, we've recently started publishing UFO sighting reports on our website from Roger Marsh, the communications director for the Mutual UFO Network. And Marsh just started posting monthly overviews of closed cases. This week, we'll highlight the following case from his latest overview.
An Oregon witness in the Fish Lake area reported photographing an odd light beam in the sky after watching unusual insect behavior in the same area where a Bigfoot researcher was working the previous day. This is according to March 19, 2014 testimony in MUFON case number 54822.
The witness notes that a Bigfoot researcher was in the area September 1st, 2012 and had recorded a very long Bigfoot call at 8:30 p.m. The witness and her husband were in the same area traveling home on September 2nd, 2012 along a stretch of road 7 miles long.
The witness states, "We looked up and saw black streaks in the sky. They were swarms. I didn't hear a sound, and I know they weren't bees or locusts. We thought they were mosquitoes. The swarm only followed the road, and the multitude of them ran longer than the length of the entire road, 7 miles. We knew that this was a highly unusual activity and decided to pull the truck over and park."
The witness managed to snap 3 photos. She explains, the first photo shows an oncoming swarm. It is highly unusual for a swarm to form at this time of the day. You can see it in the first photo that there was one light in the sky, or what appeared to be a light in the sky at the time of the photograph. The second photo shows 3 lights in the sky.
Describing the third photo, the witness explains, "I turned to the back of the parked truck to photograph what I couldn't see, but could feel. The IR on my camera is always on. I clicked the third image. I couldn't see anything, but found it compelling to take the photograph. I put it on my computer and saw orbs traveling in the beam that the IR on my camera captured. I also saw the swarm encircling the beam."
Oregon Chief Investigator Douglas Hilbling and Field Investigator Keith Rowell closed this case as an unknown. The case report explains this case is being classified as unknown/other because there remains a possibility that the camera picked up something not visible to the witness.
The report continues, "There's enough history in the UFO lore of cameras suddenly developing problems while present during a phenomenon event that this is not beyond the realm of reasonableness. I believe that there is still a possibility that the image is only a camera malfunction or accidentally capture of an in-vehicle light source, but believe unknown/other is somewhat more likely. I do not believe that there was anything beyond normal about the swarms that were cited, nor do I believe that there is anything significant linking this case to reported Bigfoot sightings in the area."
Arun Jaitley, India's finance minister, met with criticism on Wednesday, July 2nd, immediately after posting a message to his Facebook page in support of World UFO Day.
Jaitley, a key member of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's staff, posted, "This day is celebrated to raise awareness about the existence of UFOs and with that, intelligent beings from outer space. According to Reuters, this post was deleted half an hour after Reuters contacted Gately's staff for a statement.
This Facebook account is reportedly one of the main forums in which he publishes official information. So when followers of this account saw a post about World UFO Day, Gately was immediately ridiculed.
Some Facebook users voiced their disapproval and frustration by leaving comments on the post. One user wrote, "Sir, instead of talking on outer space, please confine your discussion on the hardships faced by common men. People are confused and scared about the undefined miseries which are going to be heaped upon them in the name of restoring physical health of the country." Another user commented, "Sir FM, today we the people of India are celebrating the price hike day instead of UFO day."
It appears that people are understandably more concerned with the earthly issues they're currently facing. Still, it is unfortunate that a politician who supports raising awareness about UFOs is attacked for voicing such support. This goes to show that, although things have slightly improved in recent years, there's still a tremendous stigma attached to UFOs that hinders the progress of serious study into these unidentified objects seen all over the world on a regular basis.
World UFO Day originated in 2001, and its recognition has grown every year since its inception.
A concert goer captured footage of a UFO during a concert in Connecticut.
The witness, Bobby Crash, noticed the aerial object during a concert at the Hygienic Art Park in New London on Sunday, July 6th. The short video he managed to capture with his iPhone 5S shows a bright object seemingly reflecting the sun, and it moves in a straight line across the sky.
Local news station WFSB reports the object appeared at approximately 8 p.m. Crash uploaded his video to both YouTube and CNN iReport. In his video description, he adds, "There has been UFO activity in this region recently."
Yeah, this video, I mean, it looks like an interesting object. It occurred at 8 p.m. at night, and it's cool that it's still light at 8 p.m. at night. I wish that happened here. It doesn't really happen a lot for us here in Phoenix. But interesting that, you know, it seems to reflect the sun. I don't know how much of the sun was still out at 8 p.m., but it doesn't really deviate from a flight path. It doesn't behave erratically or anything that's out of the ordinary. So I don't know what it was about this object that he found interesting.
Right, and this could actually be just a normal plane reflecting a bit of sunlight. And I have lived in areas where it stays sunny till 10 p.m. in the summer, so it could be a lot of sunlight. And it's sort of a tapered front. And a little issue here is unfortunately he couldn't hear whether the object was making any sound because he was at a concert.
At a concert, yeah.
So it is strange, but he apparently found this interesting enough to take the time to film it.
And I wasn't there, so I don't know how realistic of an option this would be, but at concerts anymore, it's not uncommon, especially outdoor concerts, it's not uncommon for there to be drones with cameras attached to, quadcopters and things like that. This looks to be a little too high for that, but it's a possibility.
It is, but I don't think it's a drone personally.
Yeah.
Like I said, I would veer more towards conventional aircraft.
Right.
Though it's hard to say.
Yeah. All right. This Syfy 2-hour documentary that's coming out about aliens on the moon is fascinating, and we know several people involved with this show. It'll be interesting to see, but a lot of things that the press releases said are going to be included in this show are things that, in my opinion, have been explained very well many times over in the past.
Well, and that's the problem with a lot of these documentaries and shows is they hype it up so much, saying, you know, this is going to prove this or that, and then viewers ultimately are let down.
Right.
But there are a lot of people who believe very firmly that there are structures on the moon or aliens on the moon, and it's the whole question of why haven't we been back? And I think that there's a lot of mysteries to our closest neighbor that we haven't explored yet, and so I think highlighting more documentaries on the subject is a great idea, but I'm not going to go into this with my hopes up.
Yeah, I don't know how they'll present it. I do hope that they're fair and not trying to mislead people, because, again, there are a lot of explanations for things I think they're going to cover on the show, and I hope they do present those, because it's really frustrating when shows intentionally mislead people and leave out things that are really, when you research these cases and issues, easy to discover. So we'll see how they present it. I hope it's not just completely silly. I'm of the opinion there is some sort of life on the moon.
I know you are, yeah.
But we'll see how they present it. But, something that is a silly thing, but also has its serious aspect is the Roswell UFO Festival.
Correct.
It's a big gathering, a pop culture icon that draws people in every year. Yet they still have this huge educational element to it, with great speakers talking about the history of Roswell and the investigations and other UFO topics as well. And the 2014 Roswell UFO Festival took place during 4th of July weekend. It's an extremely long drive for us to get out there, but we decided to jump in the car and check out this year's festival for ourselves.
So we're at the International UFO Museum in Roswell, New Mexico, and we're here with our buddy Gort, and we are here for the 2014 Roswell UFO Festival.
This guy's pretty awesome, and he's a new addition, so it's cool to see him here. We've also seen a lot of our friends and fellow researchers here, so we decided to sit down with a few of them to get their take on this Roswell UFO Festival and see how it's evolved over the years and what their experience has been here so far. We're here in Roswell with Mr. Aaron Sagers. And Aaron, it's good to talk to you again. Haven't talked to you, I guess, since you were at the International UFO Congress in February, where you were a speaker.
That's true.
And you're a speaker here, right?
I am, although I'm going to fact check you there because I've been talking to you all day today and yesterday at the Roswell UFO Festival. So you've been talking to me
that never happened.
Okay, so we're breaking.
You're blowing it.
I know. I'm blowing the shot now. I'm breaking the illusion.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling me out for my lie. Yes, we have been talking. But this is your second year at this Roswell UFO Festival?
That's right. Yeah, I was here last year, and it was the first time I came to Roswell, and it was really exciting. And now I'm happy to be back for another round, another go at it.
Yeah. How does this year compare to last year?
Well, looking around, it seems like there is a lot more younger people this time, I think, and it seems like a lot of people that are genuinely curious in UFOs and the Roswell incident, but are not necessarily as informed, which I think is actually a good thing because they're coming fresh and it gives them the opportunity to learn a lot while they're here. So I think those two things are two noticeable differences I picked up. And also, while you folks at home may not see this right now, but behind the camera is a giant Gort statue, the robot from the day the Earth stood still. And that's definitely a new thing, and I really like it. I've been making eye contact, or eye-to-visor contact with him all day.
And he's been making that with you as well.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to call you out. Aaron's lying. There's nothing behind the camera. So
It's all a lie.
Oh, no.
Wait, you don't see that?
Well, you are talking. Did you already talk?
No.
Okay, so you're doing some panels, and then you're speaking on Sunday, right? So what are you talking about?
Right. So I'm doing a panel today, on Saturday and on Sunday with Don Schmidt and Tom Carey, two top UFO researchers you guys probably know. And then on Sunday, I'm going to be discussing pop culture and UFOs and aliens. So sort of the movies that helped shape our perception of aliens and UFOs and how that has evolved over time.
Roswell is a gigantic, just pop culture destination. That's what this town is. It lives for this festival. They've really embraced their alien heritage, I guess. And that being the case, it's interesting seeing this pop culture just flood of pop culture enthusiasts coming out to this, and you get a lot of attention because a lot of the speakers and vendors here are selling books and things about Roswell in particular, but you're selling different things that appeal more to broader pop culture topics. How's that go over for you? I mean, I see a lot of people at your table during the day, so...
Yeah, I mean, people want to talk about movies and comics and TV shows, and that is very much my area of expertise. And I think it's awesome that there are so many authors around here and so many researchers that can talk about the science and the theories about UFOs. But I talk about the sort of the mainstream stuff that everybody can connect to, and it's exciting because people come over to the table and they do talk about UFOs, but they also talk about zombies and they also talk about Doctor Who and Star Trek and superheroes, and I love that, and it really just shows that this community is part of fan culture, and I think that's something to keep in mind, and it connects to like a larger curiosity. So So I think it's actually really cool, and I'm glad when people come over and nerd out with me. I've been the recipient of a lot of nerding out.
And I think you have sold a couple zombie lip balms, haven't you?
Yeah, amongst my wares, I have I do have my book and T-shirt, but I also have the famous or infamous zombie balm, the zombie lip balm, because dry lips bite. But yeah, it's popular and it's good stuff too. So
It was a big hit at the International UFO Congress.
yeah, it's weird. There has been this ripple effect, especially from the UFO Congress, a demand for the zombie bomb, and in fact, we have a mutual colleague, a friend named Lee Spiegel from the Huffington Post, who bought out my entire stock of zombie bomb and is now my biggest supporter of zombie bombs. So it's been popular. I've been very fortunate, but it's also kind of sad because when I run out of it, what am I going to use on my own lips?
That is a dilemma. You'll have to face that at some point.
Yeah.
But I've seen Lee in the morning, and I could see that possibly he could be a zombie.
Yeah. If Lee was a zombie, he would be the most chipper zombie that I think I would ever encounter. Lee is just totally chipper, and I think in zombie form he would still be a talkative, chipper, upbeat zombie.
If he is a zombie, I want to be friends with zombies. Lee's a good guy. And have you given him more lip balm, or did he still using what he acquired from you?
Oh no, he distributed when he got back to New York City. He distributed the zombie lip balm amongst his coworkers at the Huffington Post. And right before I came out here to Roswell, I got an email from him, and the entire message was, "Where's my zombie lip balm?" So apparently he needs more. I'm starting to feel like the Walter White of the lip balm community. This is sort of my version of the blue meth, the Heisenberg blue meth. Although it's not addictive. Well, maybe it's a little addictive, but it's not bad for your health. It's great for your lips, not bad for your health, and you won't go to jail for possessing it. So.
Well, because you are Mr. Pop Culture here, I will ask you one more question.
Oh, no.
Put you on the spot. What is your favorite UFO or alien-related movie?
Yeah, that is a tough one. I mean, since I am looking at the Day the Earth Stood Still statue, I will say that was so important. So that definitely ranks up there. But really, as a child of the '80s, Close Encounters of the Third Kind is really hits the sweet spot for me. It's a Spielberg movie. It was such an important part of mainstream pop culture, and it was just all around a great movie. So I would say that. But there's so many. It's hard to choose from. I mean, I even like Paul, the Simon Pegg and Nick Frost movie from a couple years ago. I even like that. So and E.T. How can you not mention E.T.? And although that freaked me out as a kid, I think that freaked me out more than Close Encounters, actually, because of the guys at the end, the agents and everything. But I'll go with Close Encounters.
Well, that's a good one, and let's go ahead and wrap it up then, and maybe we'll get some mashed potatoes later, because now I'm craving mashed potatoes. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, they need a good mashed potato restaurant in Roswell, a good UFO-themed mashed potato restaurant.
I think it'd go over well.
Close Encounters of the mashed kind.
Copyright.
Yeah, I know, right? We're making it happen.
All right, Aaron. Well, thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch up with you later.
Thanks, Jason, and thanks to all you guys at home.
Talking with Frank Kimbler here in Roswell. Frank, it is great to have you on the show again. It's been quite a while.
It's wonderful. I love open minds. I'm here to I just love it. This is great stuff.
It's so much fun catching up with you, and last year in Roswell we had so much fun together. We got to go out to the debris field together.
That's right, we did. We went out there and had a wonderful time. Jesse Marcel Jr. was with us on that trip, I do believe. So it was kind of neat.
It made it extra special.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a big treat for me.
It was an awesome treat for me too, because it was really sad that he passed away not too long after that. But you know what? Just having him ride in the car with me and spend a good 6 hours talking about what his beliefs are and everything. The man was so down to earth and so honest about the Roswell event. You know what? It's if you could have one thing where you could prove Roswell, I think his testimony alone, since the man was ex-military, that's all I needed. on that, just from him, just hearing what he saw when he was a kid sitting on his kitchen table. I'm going, okay, it's awesome. That was a cool trip. I loved it.
And, speaking about the Roswell incident in particular, and down to earth and honest, those are expressions I use when referring to you, Frank, and I've got to give you credit because you are somebody, much like myself, who is a very strong believer and wants to find that evidence, and you're actively looking for the evidence. But unfortunately, in a lot of instances, people have that strong desire, that bias, and they force the answer that they're looking for. Whereas you're a teacher, you're a scientist, you're looking for that irrefutable scientific evidence, and things you're having tested again to double check and triple check, and I really admire and appreciate that.
And you know what, that's me, and I do get caught up sometimes in the excitement on it, and that happens once in a while. And I try to watch that these days, but you know what? If it's part of the excitement that's in the story behind not only Roswell but any UFO event in the world, I think we need some of that excitement because it allows people to come up and talk to you even more, and that just gives more information. If you're too solid and too scientific and don't have that little bit of adventure flair in there, then people kind of shy away from you a little bit. So, but yeah, I want good science done on anything that's out there, and I want the truth is out there, just like what the X-Files. The truth is out there, and I strongly believe that as far as like disclosure's concerned, considering that there may be hundreds or maybe even thousands of pieces of artifacts laying on Earth that probably need some good analytical work done on it, I bet we could probably prove disclosure in less than a year and have hardcore evidence in our hands. It just takes really good science to do that. And if I had deep pockets, I'd be all over this. It would be like that program Destination Truth, except this would be the Destination Truth, and I would dig it up, and as fast as I found the stuff, I'd say, okay, bang, this one is not, this one is not. It would be shoved out for the public as fast as I could get it.
I'd like to see that show, Frank. Make it happen.
I would like to see it happen. Believe me. I think we could. I think I could. Anybody that wants to take me up on it, we could put together a cool thing for that. It would be awesome.
Yeah, I think so. Well, you are a local here in Roswell, so let me ask you about this festival in particular, the Roswell UFO Festival that happens every year. You've seen it for a few years now. Tell me, how has it changed, if it's changed at all? Have you seen an increase or a decrease in attendance, and just how it's presented overall?
This year is amazing. There seems to be a lot more people milling around on the streets, and I checked with the museum to see how many people came through. This is the highest number of people they've ever had in years come through this place. So I'm impressed. Not only that, just the overall, people heard about it, and people are curious, and they want to come here. And I've seen this grow over the years, and I think this is the best one that they've had yet, because people are sincerely interested, not in just Roswell, but they're interested in the UFO phenomena in itself. Because you know what? They want answers, and they want it like now kind of thing. And maybe coming to Roswell will help them. And there's a lot of people that just feel comfortable coming here. And then, of course, you get the ones that are a little odd, but you know what? That adds to the flavor of Roswell. Roswell is a unique place, and I love living here, and I'm glad that I'm actually involved in some of the history that's in this. And I want more people to come to Roswell and go through the museum and learn about what happened here, and read the books and look at the documentaries and make the judgments for themselves.
I'm hoping that someday in the near future you will have some stuff here in this museum, because I know you've got some things you're working on, and maybe I'll have you tease that a little bit, but Maureen and I want to have you on Spacing Out again in the near future to do more of an interview specifically about your recent findings. So
I would love that, and the museum is all for having some of the material that I have in the research on display. That's just something that's ongoing, and it'll be done. It's coming like really fast. So
Excellent. Well, thanks for catching up, Frank, and we'll have you again on the show soon.
my pleasure. Always enjoy talking to open minds. Love you guys.
We love you too, Frank. Ben, it's great to see you here at the Roswell Festival. This is your first time here, right?
Yeah, this is first time at the festival. I, in fact, only came to Roswell for my very first time just 2 months ago.
What was that for?
Filming a new show on the Smithsonian, and we did an episode on Roswell, and I can't believe, it's like the mecca for for all ufologists, and I hadn't even been here yet. So this has been really cool, though.
And I understand you actually went out to the debris field on this trip, right? You got to go out with Frank Kimbler?
I did. We did a little digging around for the documentary, and while we were doing it, Frank's got his metal detector and his setup, and I'm like, you know what? I think I need to buy one and just write this off, because the one I had was not good, and so I upgraded, and I came out a day early, and I spent pretty much a good 5-6 hours with Frank, expanding our search from where he's already done on the debris field and extending south.
Yeah, and I think you said you actually went somewhere he hasn't gone before, so that's really cool because he spends a lot of time out there.
He does, and what we look for primarily are depressions, areas of like kind of little bowls in the land where if some of this material were to have kind of like blown away, whether the prevailing winds, where would it take it, and then these kind of depressions are good places to look where it might get caught and then buried.
All right, and you teased there a little bit the Smithsonian thing, and we'll have to have you back on the show to talk more about that when it develops, and we're certainly wishing you luck with that. But talking about this festival in particular, you get around to a lot of events similar to this. This is a giant pop culture thing because that's what Roswell is. But you go to a lot of UFO events, specific to UFO events, more focused on the research aspect. How do you feel this one compares to other events?
The Roswell Festival is really cool because it is different than the others. I had, in one of my lectures, I asked everyone to raise their hand if they've never been to a UFO conference. And that was the majority. I think there were only 2 people who had actually gone to a conference. And what's good about that is that you have a lot of people here, like our tourists, come here for the festival, and their families, they're younger. So you got a lot of youth, and they're here because of what Roswell is, but they've never been in an academic setting as far as the subject goes. And so you got a lot of first-timers who don't know, all of the history, the researchers, the cases. And so you kind of, start them from the base, but they're just as interested. And you can see their eyes light up, when you lay out facts for them. Like, really? I didn't know this. I didn't. So it's really cool because, sometimes at the other conferences, you're speaking to people who already know a lot about the subject. And when they know a lot, sometimes they're really inflexible about new things coming out.
Right. And with this being such a pop culture thing, you do draw in that new audience. But I think they do a great job here also of throwing in that educational element. They have you presenting lectures and all these other speakers, and it draws in that, just like you said, the people who don't go to UFO conferences and are just blown away by the information that's out there.
Yeah, you don't normally see kids in the audience, and I'm here talking about, psychology and schizoid personality disorders and the things that some hoaxers and people have and whatever, and the kids are just, I'm worried. I'm like, are they falling asleep? Are they getting this? But for the most part, everyone's interested, and everyone comes away wanting to learn more.
Well, one last question: did you get a chance to use any of your night vision here in Roswell?
No, I didn't. There's still one more night.
All right. Well, I'll check back with you then later.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Okay, so the way that Jason and I got to Roswell was thanks to this gentleman here, our coworker Alejandro Rojas. Now, Alejandro, I know you've been to Roswell before, but is this your first time speaking at the event?
It is the first time speaking for the museum. I spoke for the city a few times years ago.
And yesterday we saw your presentation, which was on ETs and religion. How do you personally feel that the discovery of extraterrestrial life would affect the world's religions?
You know what? Given the studies that I reviewed done by Dr. Peters, a theologian and a professor, I don't think they will be as effective as people thought. And his study was a surprise to me as well, because a lot of people assume, oh, religions are really going to freak out. But I don't think they will, given that information, and given that the Vatican has really tackled the science end of astrobiology, and I think that has prepared people as well. So people will be shocked, but I don't think it's going to affect religions as much as many have assumed.
I totally agree with you 100% on that. I think that we're going to be just fine. Won't be some turmoil going on. And then you're also talking on government, correct?
Correct, yeah. Tomorrow I'm going to be speaking on the official government UFO agencies. And of course, we've covered these things piecemeal, partially in our magazines and on our website and at the conferences, because luckily we've had some of the officials that are associated with these organizations at our conference. So we've been lucky that way, or we've interviewed them at other conferences. So I use snippets of some of those interviews. But what's interesting, I don't think people realize there are so many government-sanctioned UFO organizations, and every single one of these organizations got into the business because of some extraordinary cases. So I review those cases.
Awesome. And what do you think of the festival overall? It's less of a serious event than we're typically used to, but do you think that this is a positive thing for the UFO community, or do you think that the festival environment hinders on the field?
A lot of people get really frustrated with the way make it the fun and silly stuff that gets involved with stuff like this. But I think it is important because, I kind of look at it as this is how society deals with the phenomena. A lot of people here are skeptic, but they like wearing alien costumes and stuff like that. But they're getting exposed to a lot of good information with these speakers, with, being able to buy our magazines, stuff like that. So overall, I really think it's a good thing, and it's just how society deals with some strange topics, that it makes people uncomfortable. But at least it does get information out, and I think that's important. So for those reasons, I really think that it is an important and a good thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that it's important to have a little bit of a sense of humor occasionally while still taking the subject seriously. And it's exposing a greater populace to the subject and finding out things they wouldn't normally think to ask even.
Right. It's kind of funny because, with my talk yesterday, it was around, is it okay for me to believe in aliens, being, whatever religion I am? And so people get to learn it is okay. Your religion has most likely already discussed this and has already included the idea into their theology.
Yeah. What's your absolute favorite thing about the festival?
Oh, man. I think the favorite thing about the festival, along with a lot of these conferences, is meeting up with other researchers who, of course, we become kind of close-knit. It's like a family, you get to see some of your buddies again. That's always a lot of fun. But I kind of, because the Roswell case is so important, it's also a lot of fun to see all of the people, to see all the different points of views, and to kind of celebrate this whole thing. It makes me laugh because let's say these extraterrestrials do exist and they appear as we believe them to from reports. It's got to be really amusing for them to see us dressing like them and walking around with T-shirts and everything. So that always makes me laugh too. So it's fun to have fun and then also be serious about things.
I really honestly thought you were going to say Gort, but...
Gort's really cool. There was a big unveiling at the speaker's breakfast, so that was cool that I got to see this unveiling. Don Schmidt unveiled, this Day the Earth Stood Still display that they have with Gort. He's way cool, and luckily he's right in front of us, so we get to watch him all day.
He's carefully watching us. Well, thank you so much, and again, thanks for the ride to Roswell.
Yeah, thanks, no problem.
Aside from visiting with fellow UFO researchers and interacting with festival attendees, Maureen and I participated in a panel discussion with Ben Hansen, moderated by Aaron Sagers, about UFO and alien movies and how they've influenced pop culture. Of course, the festival featured two of its popular events, the Pet Costume Contest and the Human Costume Contest. We had a great time at the 2014 Roswell UFO Festival. We're grateful to those at the museum for their hospitality, and who knows, we may have to crash in Roswell again next year. Our Roswell trip was fun. It was great seeing old friends and making a lot of new friends too.
Speaking of old friends, Stanton Friedman was not at the festival this year. As we mentioned last week, Stan suffered a heart attack recently. And we also mentioned last week that he was surprisingly still planning to attend the MUFON Symposium in Cherry Hill, New Jersey next weekend.
Well, that is no longer the case because Stan's doctors instructed him to rest. No travel for a while, and that makes sense. That's a good thing. But I'll be at the symposium next weekend, however, along with Alejandro Rojas and other members of Open Minds team. If you'll be there, make sure to come by and say hi. Well, that is all for this episode of Spacing Out. Remember to visit our website, openminds.tv, for all the latest UFO news. And if you like podcasts, check out Open Minds UFO Radio on iTunes or at openminds.tv/radio.
And don't forget, February 18th through the 22nd is the 24th Annual International UFO Congress. Make sure to book your hotel rooms early. Go to ufocongress.com. You can register early now and get our best rates before September 1st. If you enjoyed today's show, make sure to click on the like button, leave us your comments, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks again for joining us today. I'm Maureen Elsberry.
And I'm Jason McClellan. We will see you in the future.